I'm Curtis Hickman. I'm the Chief Creative Officer and co-founder of The Void. My responsibility is as Chief Creative Officer is the creative content of the experiences, helping to design those, the illusions involved with those, the stories, everything involved with basically what happens after you put the visor down.
And I'm Mark Miller. I'm the Executive Creative Producer at ILMxLAB. I oversee creative development and production of all our projects across the Star Wars world and other things that we're into as well. So all the new media opportunities that are out there.
You know, the way I ask people, obviously, if they've ever done VR before. If they have or even know what VR is, right. It's a little bit easier, I think, to get into it because it's basically the evolution of virtual reality, what we call hyper reality. It's VR in that you can see the world around you, only now you can reach out and actually touch it and interact with it. If you see a fire and you reach out, it feels hot. You're untethered and you're roaming around through this world with your friends who you can see and also interact with. So it's basically, it's replicating an impossible reality that people get to explore.
It really, the physical part of what the Void's bringing to the table really grounds people and immerses them in an amazing way. We had been working on a lot of VR pieces at ILMxLAB, and when we got to see the first demos at the Void a couple of years ago, it was just a game changer in that literally from the way people even move around. People in VR tend to do this very uncertain shuffle, but when you reach out and there's a wall there, when you see a chair and you can actually sit down in it or pick up an object and there's really something in your hand, it tends to free you in a way that you can literally watch people go from like that shuffle into just having fun and being in the Star Wars world, which is so important for something like this.
When we started developing Star Wars Secrets of the Empire, we came from this very collaborative space, which I think was awesome. We all knew that we wanted to tell a story in this very, I think, fascinating and still, you know, there's still lots to be explored within the time period between Episode 3 and Episode 4. And so we wanted to explore in that space a little bit. What could we do? Where could we go that would provide a very rich sensory experience for our guests as well? And that's how we landed on Mustafar, and then the timeline sort of set up a lot of the events that take place in the experience, and really made for something that wasn't just a story that was being told, but a story that was being experienced and explored.
And it was a lot of back and forth, and a lot of bad ideas that luckily didn't ever make it anywhere. But it was just very fun working with Curtis and the Void and the Lucasfilm Story Group and coming up with this. There's so many stories to tell in the Star Wars universe that it's almost hard to narrow it down. But we always start with what we think we as fans and what our fans will want to do, what wish fulfillment of them. If they could be in Star Wars, you know, what do they want to do? Who do they want to see? What kind of things do they want to do? And that's where a lot of this came from. So I think the difference is really what we keep talking about. And as you said, it's really hard to talk about until you've done it. It's really the difference between watching and doing. It's really the full immersion and feeling for a change. Like instead of, oh, there's that character, it's like, oh my God, there's that character, and I'm in this world. So it's I think that's the transformative part of the Void.
Yeah, it's the immersion, right? I mean, it's being able to not just to like watch a film or walk through a theme park where you which is, you know, we're all very excited for, but at the same time you're not 100% there. Here you're an active participant in that story, in that film, so to speak. You're a character, and you're there with your friends, with your comrades, and you're there alone to experience that world. And you're carrying out that authentic Star Wars story. And I don't know. To me, that nothing can beat that. I mean, you are part of a Star Wars story.